Have you considered at all what happens if you lose?
No, not at all. I don't think about losing because I'm too busy thinking about winning.
While most fighters hesitate and focus on the danger, Terence Crawford is speaking honestly to Canelo Alvarez. This isn't blind confidence. It's belief backed by vision. Crawford already sees the outcome before it happens. There's no hesitation, no uncertainty, only pursuit of greatness. And if you think this fight is about titles or paychecks, think again. It's about legacy.
Everything for my legacy and my career, you know, and I'm looking forward to it.
Crawford's confidence remains rock solid, but not everyone is sold. Even with an undefeated record and success across multiple weight divisions, his latest bout against Israel Madrimov left some fans with more doubts than answers. The fight lacked excitement, and while Crawford appeared to do enough to secure the win, the usual sharpness people expect from him wasn't fully on display. Naturally, critics jumped in, labeling the performance as cautious, uninspiring, and even suggesting it raised questions about whether Crawford is truly ready for someone like Canelo, who brings more size and ring experience. When Crawford was recently asked about that fight with Madrimov in an interview, here's how he responded.
Great performance. You know, I thought I did what I wanted in the ring. I thought I picked it up when I wanted to. I thought I banged when I wanted to, boxed real well. I don't take nothing from it, you know, because styles make fights, and Canelo has a different style than Israel Madrimov. So, you know, we just go.
No excuses, no second thoughts, just calm focus and complete control. Crawford doesn't view the Madrimov fight as a warning sign. He sees it as strategy. His objective was never to entertain critics. Instead, he was studying patterns, limiting danger, and saving his big moment for a much larger stage. But against a fighter like Canelo, that kind of calculated approach is a gamble. It can either look brilliant or collapse under the brightest lights. That's what makes this matchup so dangerous, so unpredictable, and so deeply personal. For Crawford, this isn't about titles or records. It's about silencing every doubt by taking the boldest risk of his career. And just as Crawford brushed off concerns about his last performance, a new voice entered the conversation, one with serious credibility at super middleweight. Jose Benavidez Sr., the outspoken father and trainer of David Benavidez, didn't hesitate. He didn't just question Crawford's approach. He openly criticized the entire idea of facing Canelo, calling it a bad move from the very beginning.
There's Crawford's a little guy, you know. He's coming up 2 divisions to fight Canelo Alvarez, and you think he's gonna go toe-to-toe with Canelo? Come on, man. You know, Terence Crawford's a great fighter, really good fighter, but that's too much weight for him. So he's gonna try to survive and move around and try to win the round.
According to Benavidez Sr., Crawford isn't stepping in to dominate. He's stepping in to survive. And that perspective feeds into a much bigger storyline. Even at what's called the later stage of his career, Canelo remains too powerful, too seasoned, and too physically imposing for a naturally smaller fighter like Crawford. Benavidez doesn't just see a size disadvantage. He sees a stylistic problem as well. In his view, that combination could turn this highly anticipated matchup into one of the dullest blockbuster fights fans have seen in years.
At this stage right now, his legs are not the same, you know, the body's not responding the same, so I think he's going to have problems trying to catch Terence Crawford, to be honest with you, and I think it's going to be the same fight, you know. I think it's going to be a boring, exciting, because I heard that Canelo was the worst fight ever on pay-per-view to throw the less punches in history, so we're hoping to see a great fight, a good fight, but that matchup is not a matchup to be excited.
Benavidez Sr. is clearly sending a message. Crawford doesn't belong at 168, and fans should keep their expectations in check. But there's a bigger subtext here that can't be ignored. If Crawford manages to pull it off, if he makes Canelo miss, frustrates him, and takes control with speed and precision, it won't just quiet the critics. It can shake the entire super middleweight division to its core. For fighters like Benavidez Jr., who have been waiting years for their shot at Canelo, seeing Crawford succeed will be a seismic moment. And when it comes to boxing legends weighing in, most agree that Crawford's decision to face Canelo is bold and calculated. Enter Juan Manuel Marquez, Mexican legend Hall of Famer who doesn't sugarcoat anything. When asked about Crawford versus Canelo, Marquez spoke bluntly and didn't hold back.
I don't like the fight because Terence Crawford is a good fighter, but in the sport of boxing, it has divisions. You know what I mean? You know?
Right, weight classes.
You know what?
Right?
Yeah, weight classes
for a reason.
Weight classes for And Terence Crawford is a good fighter in super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight, but I think more. I remember when Terence Crawford fought with Madrimov.
Yes.
He looks slow. He looks with no power, and 3 more divisions. 2 more divisions. I think it's a top fight for Terence.
That insight comes from a man who knows what it's like to move through weight classes the hard way. Marquez has competed in 4 divisions, going up against legends like Pacquiao, Mayweather, and most brutally honest voices in the sport, didn't hold back in his analysis. He made one thing very clear. Crawford can study the blueprint, but that doesn't automatically mean he can replicate it in the ring.
Is the fight you gotta study if you're Crawford. Crawford ain't Floyd, but he can do a Bill. The problem is, Bivens a big dude. I got a lot of fighters Canelo fought at 168 beating Crawford. I got Caleb Plant beating Crawford. I got Berlanga beating Crawford. I got Callum Smith beating Crawford. Just way too huge, of course. But that's why Crawford ain't campaigning at 168. He's trying to beat Canelo because Canelo is a special case. He's one of the best fighters of all time, and he's actually a little guy who ballooned up to him.
In other words, Crawford is looking to dominate the super middleweight division. This is a one-night mission, precise strike, a chance at making history. It's not a career-long plan, which makes it even riskier. If he comes up short, critics will say he overreached, not that he aimed for greatness. Despite concerns about size and strength, some argue that the fight still delivers where it matters most. Veteran commentator Jim Lampley, who defined an era of big fights on HBO, may have his doubts about the physical gap, but he's captivated by the matchup itself. For him, Crawford versus Canelo isn't just about weight. It's about who breaks first under pressure.
Crawford is going to fight Canelo because even if I have some doubts and misgivings about the size matchup, it is two action fighters who like to fight aggressively at times, not all the times, going against each other, and we'll see who can open the other person's tuna can, so to speak.
In other words, forget the blueprint talk. It could all come down to who makes the smartest move when it matters most. Canelo may have the size, but his speed isn't what it used to be. Crawford may be smarter, but he's fresher and more strategic. A combination that keeps fans like Lampley hooked. After all, legendary fights aren't always about fairness. They're about unforgettable moments. Boxer and analyst Johnny Mansour, who has always admired Crawford, admits this matchup makes him nervous. For both exciting and concerning reasons, Crawford is stepping into one of the most high-stakes tests of his career.
I love Canelo, but Crawford is one of my favorite fighters. He's super crafty inside the ring, very good fundamentally, but he's stepping up to a very high division. So all respect to Crawford, but I'm gonna have to say Canelo, and I hope he doesn't hurt Crawford.
That's the fine line Crawford is walking. He's not just facing a stronger opponent. He's stepping into the dangers that come with chasing greatness. Every step toward legacy comes with price, and many believe Canelo will make him pay in full. Even fighters who respect Crawford's sharp ring IQ question whether he's biting off more than he can chew. Take Teofimo Lopez, known for his fearless style and in-ring grit. He picked Canelo without hesitation. But even he couldn't ignore the hard truth. While Crawford may have a superior boxing mind, Canelo has the undeniable physical advantage.
Canelo, who you got?
Crawford, Canelo? I still say Canelo.
I got Canelo too.
I still say Canelo. Ring IQ, I believe that Crawford has a bit more.
Yep.
However, it's just the size difference. I think that where Crawford is lacking is that he should try and test the waters even with somebody at that weight class before facing Canelo. But hey, they say he's a dog, he's got shot in the head and drove to the hospital, so maybe that's just his mentality.
Hey, let's see. Only one way to find out till that day comes.
It's the only way, but I definitely think that it's a great fight overall. You know,
that's what makes this matchup so polarizing. It's not just skill against skill, it's strategy against sheer size. In a sport where power can make all the difference, Crawford's bravery can either be his greatest asset or his biggest liability. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who faced Canelo in a high-profile All-Mexico clash back in 2017, weighed in after watching Canelo's recent performances. Chavez Jr. believes a four-division champion may have lost a bit of his fire, but even a slightly diminished Canelo is still a formidable challenge for Crawford. Crawford has the heart and the skills, but the real question is, how much can he handle, and how far is he willing to push himself?
It's still a big than Crawford, and I don't know Crawford. How is Crawford now? It's my age, 39, and his last performance don't look good. So I pick Canelo.
Yeah, any advice you can give to Crawford? Any insight at all? I know it's been years since you fought Canelo. He's gotten better, bigger.
Run.
Chavez Jr., as perspective, highlights the fight's core challenge: physicality. No matter how precise Crawford is technically, size isn't just a number. It's a force that can punish a fighter if he's not prepared for it. Having felt Canelo's power up close, Chavez warns that Crawford will need more than just skill. He might need his running shoes too. Trainer Tita Garcia, who's worked with top-tier fighters, breaks down the matchup from both a technical and psychological perspective. For him, this fight isn't just about strength, it's about timing. And in his view, Crawford may be facing Canelo at exactly the right moment in the champion's career.
He has the skill set to be able to outbox him, to be able to move, give him a tough time and win the decision. I really think he does have the skills to beat him. I think the size, yes, it's a big factor, but the way Canelo looked in his last fight, I think he's very comfortable now. He does whatever he has to do to win now. He doesn't really push himself the way he used to when he was younger. I think all that's going to help out Terence Crawford, and I think he's gonna.
Garcia's take goes even deeper. It's not just about the physical challenge Canelo presents. It's also about mental fatigue and motivation. While Crawford is chasing legacy, Canelo may be pacing himself, saving energy for what could be the toughest challenge of his career. Crawford, meanwhile, delivers a short but powerful message to both fans and critics, making it clear he's ready to face the pressure head on.
Canelo averaged the biggest fight in boxing.
Well, Canelo's the face of boxing. He's the best fighter for Terence Crawford out there. He's the biggest fight for Terence Crawford out there. So that's why Terence Crawford want to take the opportunity to share a ring with another great.
How do you beat him?
You'll see. Come through.
No hesitation, no second guessing, just absolute confidence. This wasn't a fighter talking about paydays. It was a champion focused on legacy, making it clear he's ready for war. In a single statement, Crawford showed that this isn't about just surviving. It's about a calculated, high-stakes plan to seize a title. That's the strategy he's bringing into this fight. He's not chasing flashy knockouts. He's aiming to outsmart and outclass Canelo round by round. Crawford recently broke down his approach in an interview, giving fans a glimpse of his mindset going into this monumental
showstopper. I just got to beat him. I'm not going in there looking to knock Canelo out. Could it happen? Yes, absolutely. You know, when I look at Canelo, he's a smaller, bigger guy moving up in divisions. You know, being that these big guys are slower, so they might catch him with something, but he might see it at the last moment. You know, they might catch him with a hard shot, but he's able to roll and turn with it. You know, because he's coming from a smaller weight class that was faster, that was sharper. You know, I'm coming from a smaller weight class that's faster and sharper. So if he get hit with a sharp punch.
As the hype for this historic matchup continues to grow, analysts and insiders are weighing in on clash of skill versus sheer power. Boxing analyst Dan Rodriguez shares perspective, acknowledging Crawford's technical edge, but also highlighting Canelo's unmatched experience and physical advantage, factors that could play a major role in determining the outcome.
That's a great fight. I feel like Crawford has an edge on that one. I feel like he has more skills than Canelo, but Canelo has the size advantage, and he's a very experienced fighter as well. So I think it's just a matter of seeing what happens. But in that fight, I favor Crawford.
Does that fight end in stoppage, you think, or?
I don't think so. I don't.
When it comes to insight from those who share the ring with Canelo, Diego Pacheco's opinion carries weight. Having sparred with a Mexican superstar, Pacheco offers a unique perspective on Crawford's upcoming fight. He acknowledges Canelo's physical advantage, but also points to Crawford's speed and evasive skills, making this matchup a fascinating puzzle for both fighters.
Two hell of a fighters. You know, I feel if anyone has the edge, it'd be Canelo because of the size. You know, but again, you know, Crawford is really fast and elusive and can move, can box. A lot of experience, man. So it's really hard, man. I'm excited to watch that. But I haven't been this excited.
This fight has boxing fans and insiders buzzing with anticipation. It's far more than just another matchup. It's a clash of styles, where every move and tactic can decide victory or defeat. Crawford's bold approach, sharp skills, and strategic precision turn this fight into much more than a big payday. This is a high-stakes battle for legacy, pride, and respect. In the ring will be a test. Can Crawford's speed and intelligence overcome Canelo's power and experience? This isn't just a fight. It's a defining moment that could reshape the super middleweight division and leave a mark on boxing history that's what we think. Will Crawford's smarts and agility outmaneuver Canelo's strength and ring mastery? Or is this a mismatch waiting to happen? Drop your prediction in the comments and let us know how you see this epic showdown unfolding.